You make me so uncomfortable. Especially Minister... Excuse me, are you eavesdropping?
No, ma'am. I was just standing here admiring that ass. No, I'm just playing. Alright, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of Proper Play and Guild Wars 2 Living Story Season 2 with Sif Larson. We're going to go ahead and get started. We are in Definity's Reach. Beautiful, beautiful. Definity's Reach. Love this place, actually. But we're going to go ahead and get the story started. I believe we're probably about to meet up with the Nip Slip herself, Queen Jenna, and the rest of the politicians here in Divinity's Reach. So let's see what we can get into. And there is Cashmere. Sexy, sexy Cashmere. Let's see.
Let me catch you up on what's happened. Queen Jenna can't attend the summit because someone has accused her of conspiring with Scarlet.
Ooh.
The hearing is the same day.
Oh, damn. For real?
Someone's lying, and we have to figure out who. Soon as we know, we can confront that person and get them to recant their statement. We need to talk to everyone, find clues to the truth, and build evidence to defend the Queen. Once we discover who among them is the mastermind, we'll take action.
Let's get it.
But be careful. These people are suspicious and sensitive. Say something too blunt or off-putting, and they'll clam up. If we're obviously undermining their plans, they'll have us escorted out of the party, and it will all have been for nothing.
Oh, this is going to be interesting. Let's get it. The Herald. What the fuck?
Introducing a hero who
There's the
needs
arena
no
back here. Man, I
introduction,
missed that place.
The commander of the pact, and accompanying Casimir Mead.
That was rude.
Keep it together, Kaz. You can get through this. Be confident, like Jory.
Casimir, come over here. Don't look so glum.
That's Anise.
Care for an hors d'oeuvre? Hello, dear Casimir. Don't worry your little face over what the Herald's papers say. You'll always be noble in my eyes.
Countess Anise. That's direct and kind of you to say. I'm afraid I don't feel particularly noble.
Then we must do something about that.
You know, Cashmere's dress is
Nobility isn't
uncomfortable as fuck.
a silver
Look like a whole
bullet.
bunch of feathers.
It's in your choices. Your return to grace is only a pardon away.
May I
If your
take it
talent
now?
for detecting lies is all you say it is, well, let's just say I'm confident we can convince the Queen your value overrides your father's misfortune.
I only hope to be of some small service, Countess. Oh dear. Okay. Let's start picking apart everything they say. One of these ministers is spreading lies about the Queen.
Don't misunderstand, Countess. I'm certainly grateful to you for purchasing my billet and putting me to work.
Who the fuck
I'm
is
just
talking?
not sure I understand the reasoning
Oh.
behind dragging me to this soiree of yours.
Let's check it out. I'm heading this way. Nobody's talking.
He was up ill all last night. I told him not to eat that fourth pie. What can I do for you?
I don't know. What can you do for me?
I have so much to do.
Is anybody going to talk in this area?
Excuse me. More wine, please, waiter.
The fuck you calling a waiter? Who you calling a waiter? Look at me, girl. I can eat you. Yeah.
My time is precious.
Okay, I'm gonna let you get to it then, buddy.
But I thought for certain it was Minister Wee who attended court the day Scarlet was there. Are you sure?
Let's talk to this guy, I guess. I have a vague collection of that crazy Sylvari walking into her audience with the Queen. This was well before the attack on the city, by the way. I still don't know why I noticed her. I was expecting to see Minister Wee's wife here today.
Who is that brute who's been rooming with the Countess all evening? I need to ask her questions.
Lady Wee? She gets the vapors, fragile constitution, poor dear, can't keep up with her husband. Apparently neither can I. I thought he was in the court the day Scarlet had an audience with the Queen. Were you attending the court that day? Ha ha ha. If you've seen one minister, you've seen them all. If he was, then he probably involved in the nasty lies about the queen. Dour look on all the faces. But seriously, it's rather difficult to confuse Minister Wee with Minister Estelle or even Minister Atron. My memory just isn't what it used to be. Which one did you confuse with Minister Wee? I saw Estelle enter in the throne room along with the goat farmer, Minister Atron, and a Silvari. That wrench turned out to be Scarlet, she did. Nice talking to you.
Hearing afterward, but Scarlet approached the queen. No one paid any attention back then. Scarlet was a nobody until the Queen's Jubilee.
That's true. Queen's Jubilee was in this area here. If you weren't around or don't know about it, it was a big contest that was in this area. It was hella fun. Hella fun for Guild Wars, man. I had a blast there. Hold on. I see a star somewhere. Let me go check it out. I'm just running through people. Fuck. It disappeared. Okay, never mind. We're going to continue here. Up here, I guess? This place is massive.
And then he asked me which pair I wanted, to suggest I couldn't afford both. Why, I should have slapped him on the spot.
Damn! Alright.
I wish Muse hadn't invited the ministers. They make me so uncomfortable. Especially Minister... Excuse me. Are you eavesdropping?
No, ma'am. I was just standing here admiring that ass. No, I'm just playing. Do you realize, you do realize, I'm sure, that it's rude to eavesdrop, were you? No, my lady, I merely wanted to introduce myself, because of that ass. No, I'm just playing. I'm Sif Larson. Oh, I do beg your pardon. It's a pleasure to meet you. I am Lady Allison, and my company here is Lady Brenda. Are you enjoying the party? Some of the guests seem rather tense. I wouldn't think anyone could ignore such a beautiful night as this. Oh, I'm quite sure that some ministers prefer dark nights like this to sunny days. Haha. That's true in my culture as well. I don't get out much, but I would like to visit where you're from. Tell me, how do you find our fair city? It's glorious, a real accomplishment. She's not lying, but she's being evasive. Try again and press her for more information when she talks about the ministers. Of course she can't hear you talking to me right now. So, what were you saying about the party? Some of the guests seem rather tense. A particular minister make you uncomfortable? I wouldn't think anyone could ignore such a beautiful night. Okay. Minister Caduceus, of course. He surrounds himself with intrigue, cloaks, daggers, shadows, and all that nasty business. Don't let him look upon you, my dear. Once he has you in his sights, you're doomed. As you said, ministers can be dangerous. Oh, I'm quite sure that some of the ministers prefer dark nights like this to sunny days. Let me see. I already did that. Yes, the minister is behind it. But he never involved himself directly. He has others to do his dirty work, like Estelle and Arton. They are awfully talkative with him at the party last night. I understand.
Of course. Codicus would be involved in anything that undermines
Codicus's
the
manner?
queen.
Same
He's
Codicus?
not the one accusing her. We have to find that person.
Bald homie with a big pointy beard, if I remember correct. Let's see what's going on over here. I keep getting a thing for over here, so let's go.
Stop right there.
What?
About your dogs and haircuts.
Oh, I thought he was talking to me. Where are we at? Up here? Over here? Hey, what's up? I'm going in. I'm just chilling. Don't mind me. Is it this way?
I see Minister Estelle has political ambitions.
I can take that.
She's been having a lot of private meetings with Minister Codicus.
Making sure I don't catch the dude's eye. Minister Estelle right here. I'm making sure I don't catch the one's eye that they're talking about. That's Minister Estelle. Almost stabbed her. You're a busy bee. Does that make you charming or does that make you nosy? Definitely nosy. They say you were in the court the same day Scarlet was. Charming. I hope. Did you know? Did you know I dealt the killing blow to Scarlet? No, that was you? I saw her once in the throne room. She was having quite the talk with the queen. Lucky you. But why is someone of your caliber walking around the party with Cashmere Mead? Her family's a bunch of criminals and gamblers. You should perhaps keep your thoughts to yourself. I believe you should mingle so others can bask in your glory. Great idea. Who's this homie?
Greetings.
That's all you got to say? Fucker. Oh, sorry. What?
Minister Estelle is being pressured by Minister Marula to retire? Oh, she would never. She's far too ambitious.
Who's this homie? Looking like Maverick from Maverick. I'm going to get more punch. It's so fruity. Wait, I wanted to ask you something. Only if you make it quick. I'm so excited. Oh fuck.
I can take that. Thank you.
Prove very exciting. I want to retire. Lack of excitement. Undoubtedly, she likes to be in the thick of things, but Codicus has had her doing clerical work lately. She meets with him regularly, from what I've heard. He'll talk her out of retiring, I'm sure. Undoubtedly. Enjoy the party.
I've never met Minister Estelle. If she's been meeting with Codicus, she may know something.
All right, Cashmere, what you got to say?
I'm not sure about this.
My mind's spinning. So much information. Can you make heads or tails of it? We've learned a few things. First, we know who was in the court that day. Yes, a farmer with a goat, 2 ministers, Estelle and Arton and Scarlet. And we know that Codicus lets others do his dirty work for him. We've also heard that both Estelle and Arton have seen Codicus lately. It must be one of them. Let's talk to Minister Atron first. Let's go. Show him. Oh.
Distracted, Countess. What are you looking for in this crowd?
Hey.
I could lend my eyes and ears to your search. If there's nothing in particular you need
That
me
motherfucker
to,
look dangerous as
do
fuck.
you mind if I help myself to some of your refreshments?
Can I get up there? Nope.
Am I really so dull? Well,
I can take that.
I expected you to approach.
As I was telling my old friend Codicus the other day, we really must do something about these bandits. They are a hazard. I have reason to believe they're connected with the White Mantle. Did you see Scarlet the day she had an audience with the Queen? I did. There were 4 of us in the throne room with the Queen and Countess Anise. And the guards, of course. It was Scarlet, me, Minister Estelle, and some dirty farmer with a goat. And the Queen spoke to Scarlet? Yes. She was polite as always, but the Countess kept whispering in the Queen's ear. It was making us all nervous. Scarlet wanted permission to study with the engineer that designed the watch nights. What did the Queen say? She respectfully declined. Scarlet was the last in line, and the Queen left before there could be more discussion. Scarlet tried to say more, but the Queen apologized and hurried out. Anything else? The Savari, Scarlet, looked livid. She stormed out, shoving guards out of the way. She was rather frightening. Actually, I imagine that's what Countess Anise saw that made her hustle the Queen away. Kaz, does this testimony line up? His description of events perfectly matched what Anise told me. Minister Artron is telling the truth. He must not be the one. Interesting. Thank you.
You've convinced me. It looks like Minister Estelle
fuck is
is
she?
the one spreading this horrible rumor.
Where is she?
Let's keep at
Oh,
it.
she's
If we're
fucking
going to
camouflage.
confront her, we'll need serious evidence to back us up.
Why are you looking at the... Okay, whatever. Gather incriminating evidence against the lying minister. Fuck me, really? So I can go over here and do that?
I know for a fact that the Queen had a private talk with Scarlet. How? Everyone is saying it, so it must be true.
Oh, Lord. You're like everybody else in the world. Just because it's online, it's got to be real. Hello. We were just discussing how horrible it is that Queen portrayed us all. It's just a bad rumor, a lie. Yeah, let's do that. No, it's not. I saw her in the Salma district shortly after nightfall. She wore a black woolen cloak with a hood up. The only reason I knew it was her was because I bumped into her and saw her face. Should I say, Cashmere, what do I think? What do you think? Her eye twitched when she said that. I don't think it's the truth. Listen, just between you and me, I may not be telling the exact truth, but they offer me a lot of gold if I say I was there. Please, you can't tell anyone. You're going to have to testify. Oh, all right. I'll testify that I was paid to lie, but I'll never say who paid me. I don't betray old friends. Still, I wasn't comfortable lying, but my son's ill. I hope the Queen will forgive me. You're doing the right thing.
Good
It ain't that easy.
I had a feeling she was lying. The Queen would
You
not
did
let
it, not
her
me.
in with just anyone, much less a Silvari with no political connections. This woman will testify.
Sweet, let's go.
You must be mistaken. My niece knows a guard who heard from a doorman that the Queen... Oh, I've said too much.
No, you haven't. You're about to talk right now.
I have so much to do.
Oh, you're you, Sif Larson. You're well known in these parts. The Queen recently mentioned you were hosting a summit. She'd like very much to attend. That may be complicated. Oh, I know. Those lies Estelle is spreading. Can you imagine our barefoot queen skulking through the streets at night in disguise? It's laughable. You don't think she met with Scarlet? I can imagine it. Actually, she's a mesmer. Casimir, what do you think? In the throne room, yes, but not in the streets. A Char emissary visited the queen that night. While the emissaries since left, the guard who was present will testify. Good to know. Thanks.
Countess Anise hardly ever lets the Queen out of her sight. She and the guard will corroborate the Queen's alibi.
Boom. We got that. Suspicion is low.
You seem distracted, Countess. What are you looking for in this crowd?
How can somebody be suspicious of me? I'm the best thief there is, buddy. Oh, shit.
Is lying a prerequisite for being in the ministry?
What?
Greetings.
It makes me so sad to think that people who run our city, our kingdom, can't get along with each other. Now one of the ministers is spreading lies about the Queen. I'll pay for any information you have on the Lion Minister. No. I have some experience with ministers. Not all bad. Who do you work for? Mr. That. That's generous, but I have nothing to say. I'm employed by Minister Artron. I won't shoot myself in the foot for a few coins. Well, we already knocked that out. Well, he's still got to start.
Greetings.
Both my wife and I work for ministers. Damn, I fucked up. They can be like night and day. My wife works for Minister Estelle. I work for Minister Atron. Do you like your jobs? Most days, my wife has a harder time. Her minister has a gambling problem. If she's winning, she's fine. If not, she's dangerous. Will she know where Estelle was the night of the alleged meeting? Maybe. Estelle often visits her old friend, Lady Claire, in the evening. Ask my wife if she knows what happened. She's a good woman and won't lie to protect the minister. Thank you for the information. You're a good Crichton.
That's another witness who can help us prove the Queen's innocence. Nicely done.
What do you think? Do we have enough evidence to discredit her accusations? Plenty. The servant's wife can testify that Estelle met with Lady Claire. Maybe the threat of her testifying will be enough to shut this down. What else? We have multiple witnesses who say the Queen turned down Scarlet's request. I still can't believe Scarlet wanted to study with the Watch Night engineer. Thank the gods the Queen turned her down. Though, that might explain Scarlet's anger when she attacked our city. What else? We know Estelle's friend was lying for her. For a pouch of gold, you mean? Estelle must have coached Lady Claire. I don't imagine it will be too hard to get her to testify the lie. I guess that they weren't such good friends after all. We're ready to confront Estelle with the evidence.
Looks like we've got everything we need. Time to expose Minister Estelle for the liar she is.
Bam, there she is too. Uh-oh.
I see you've been busy socializing with the guests.
Yes, I have. As a matter of fact. Oh, no. This one.
Is this a party or a circus?
Hello, Busy Bee. I must admit, I'm a bit charmed by how you fit from flower to flower. I know all about you. Listen closely to what Estelle says. She's finished. Once she's finished, don't be afraid to ask her to repeat what she said. Press her only when you're certain she's lying. I have a question. Is it true that you work closely with Lord Codicus? I used to work with Lord Codicus, but now that I'm considering retirement, I have started spending most of my time in the ministry library. I hardly ever see him. Tell me more. Admittedly, I occasionally do small tasks for him, but he's still recovering from that awful scandal. He keeps to himself most of the time. Tell me more. Even at parties, Lord Codicus is off doing his own thing, and I'm left to my own devices. I'm just a wallflower, really. Cashmere, what do you think? She keeps backpedaling. Press her when she lies, and then present your evidence to counter her arguments. Minister Estelle, can you repeat that? I used to work with Lord Codicus, but now I'm considering retirement. I've started spending most of my time in the ministry library. I hardly see him. That's not what I heard. Why would I lie about something like that? He's my boss's boss's boss. I don't work directly with him. I met someone who says you see Codicus often. Admittedly, I occasionally do small tasks for him, but he's still recovering from that awful scandal. He keeps to himself most of the time. Oh yes, I nearly forgot about that. There was a large crowd there. I saw the legate minister from across the roses. I heard there was a handful of people there. Even at parties, Lord Codicus is off doing his own thing, and I'm left to my own devices. I'm just a wallflower, really. Shy, huh? Oh yes, I barely spoke with anyone during the entire party. Beautiful garden, though. A witness said you had an aside with Codicus. He talked. You nodded. Fine. He and I talked, but you'll never learn the topic of that discussion. And you can't prove it had anything to do with the Queen. I don't have to prove it. I just have to discredit you.
So perhaps I misspoke. Apologies. I shall revise my statement.
So word of our work for Lord Codicus. It means nothing. It doesn't change the fact that I was there when Scarlet had her audience with the Queen. Did you hear what the Queen discussed with Scarlet? Sorry. No, they spoke too quietly, like schoolgirl friends whispering so no one else could hear. I must have been lost in my own thoughts while the Queen and Scarlet conspired deviously. I heard the word watch nights. Tell me more. Isn't it bad enough? Do you know how many people died because the Queen gave Scarlet access to the watch nights? Why are you still interrogating me? She's the criminal. She's clever and slippery, but you can nail down those lies. Catch her off guard when she slips up. That's a lie. You heard everything. I heard harsh words, but I couldn't make out any of them. The Queen seemed pleased, though. Minister Atron heard everything. His ears must be better than yours. I must have been lost in my own thoughts while the Queen and Scarlet conspired deviously. I heard the Queen was escorted out for her safety. You weren't there. You can't possibly know how they behaved unless you questioned the goat. I spoke with Artron. His version agrees with the Countess and the goats. Yes, well, one person's politeness is another person's friendliness. That means nothing.
Aren't you the nosy one? If you must know, I'll tell you what really happened.
Fuck,
Is
that's
this a
suspicious.
party or a circus?
It doesn't matter what happened in the throne room. The Queen arranged to meet Scarlet later that evening. She didn't want any of us to hear them, so she sneaked out. You're sticking by the claim that they arranged this in the throne room. Absolutely. Their foreheads were particularly touching. They were so chummy. They agreed to something, and what else could it be? So, it was brief. A look, a smile. Maybe they had already arranged a meet later. I don't know. All I know is that I saw her under the bridge, and it was Queen and Scarlet. I'm not the only one who saw her. There was another witness who came forward, a noblewoman. Why are you working so hard to protect the Queen Jenna? She sold us out, and now she's just trying to cover her tracks. It was definitely Jenna in a red cape. Okay, you're crazy. Anise would never let Scarlet get that close to the Queen. Oh yes, she was in on it too. All smiles and pet this and pet that. Minister Archon described a very different atmosphere. Time did you see them? Later, about an hour after dark. Shit, my suspicion's going up. They were in the Salma district. I caught sight of the Queen's profile, nearly fainted. Why would she endanger herself like that? The Queen was in her office with the Char emissary at that time. I'm not the only one who saw her. There was a witness who came forward, a noble woman. How many other witnesses do you have in your pocket? Oh shit. Everyone knows we were in school together. That's no secret, but she and I haven't spoken in years. Someone paid her to lie, and I suspect it was you. Why are you working so hard to protect the Queen? She sold us out. You told your accomplice to say it was a black cape. Ooh. No, it was a red cape, I think. Have you forgotten? You're trying to confuse me. It was a red cape, I'm sure of it. Dark red. If you and your old friend can't agree on the color of the Queen's cape... Wait, I remember now. The Queen was in a black cape. Yes, Countess Anise was in a red one. Did I forget to mention they were both there? You know the Countess wouldn't let the Queen go anywhere alone. You're saying Countess Anise was there too? What? Clearly, we need to discuss this further, Sir Sif Larson. Good idea.
This way.
I'm gonna smack you for lying to me. Please tell me we completed that. We have to eliminate any doubt at all. If there's even the smallest chance that Estelle's telling the truth. She's not. But we need to hear Anise say she wasn't under that bridge. I'm sure I'd have sensed it if this were some kind of Meshmer cover-up. Don't you think? It doesn't matter. I know if the Countess is lying when we ask her. Let's go. All right, let's talk to Anise. She's probably over there still questioning old boy.
I've been occupying myself by planning the existence of this entire gaggle of premium.
I am elsewhere.
I thought maybe some well-placed
Anise is at the center of the party. Let's go talk to her. I know. I got her.
One by one with my blade and hide the bodies in the pantry. I wonder.
Anise is right there.
Reflect poorly on your office. I imagine I'd become a hero to the cotton people, and still.
Are we going up here? Where are we going? I know where Anise is. Anise is right there.
Care for an order?
Anise is right here. What the fuck?
My apologies for the deception.
There she goes.
But I must go to unconventional lengths to protect Kryta.
Countess, Minister Estelle is claiming that you were there at this secret meeting. She's implicating you.
Nonsense. I was at no such meeting. I did, however, receive a mysterious message signed only with the initial E. The note said that Estelle was in a bandit gambling parlor when she was supposedly spying on our queen. Reminding her of this will be enough to make her drop her lie, faster than Farron's dignity.
Use Anise's evidence to silence the lying minister. Let's do it! Holy crap, that's an illusion? That's wild. That's why I thought it was her. That's an illusion.
You again? I hope you're not planning another interrogation. This is a party, if you haven't noticed. What?
I imagine Countess Anise had a lie to cover up her presence at the bridge. It's her word against mine. Actually, Minister, it's several people's words against yours. What are you talking about? Has someone said they testify against me? We have witnesses who will support Countess Anise's story. Traitors to the ministry? Traitors! They'll find themselves in the streets soon. I doubt it. The Queen has positions for those who are honest and honorable. There are those of us who see through the ministry lies, and our numbers are growing. Jory would approve, eh, Kaz? Goodbye, Minister.
I'll have you know I'm very well connected, and
Your connections can't help with this. We know what you've been up to.
What do you mean?
We know you couldn't have witnessed the supposed meeting with Scarlet.
Better back up.
Busy meeting with some lobbyist that day.
Lobbyist? What are you talking about?
So much for subtlety. You were busy gambling with some ruffians.
Keep your voice down. That's a baseless accusation.
Is that so, Minister Estelle? Perhaps you and I should speak privately and sort this little mess out. Please follow my guards. I'll be with you shortly.
Follow her guards.
Countess Anise, thank you for inviting us to your party. It's been an entertaining and productive evening.
No one is more delighted by your presence than I. With all that socializing and skullduggery, you must be craving the longest of naps. Now that this messy affair is out of the way, I feel fairly certain Queen Jenna will attend your summit. I think Minister Estelle will soon see the value in cooperating with me, rather than rotting in prison for treason. I may have use for her. On a separate note, I do hope you will stay and join the Queen's entourage, Casimir.
You mean travel with the Queen to the summit? I'd be honored.
Yes, I think that's the right play. You will, of course, have time to relay the full details of your father's story at that time.
Oh, I don't think the Queen would be interested in...
Nonsense. Now go. Say pretty things to my guests and enjoy yourselves for the rest of the evening.
No, I don't think I'm going to stay here at this stuffy party. But let me speak with Anise. You must visit more often. The party wouldn't have been nearly as much fun without you. The Queen sends her gratitude as well. She can now attend your summit. I'll be there as well, though, incognito. That's wonderful news. I appreciate your support, Countess. If you have no objections, I believe I will keep dear Cashmere with me for a while. We have much to talk about, don't we, pet? One last question. If you knew Estelle was guilty, why not just out her? Put simply, I'm too close to the Queen for my claims to be believable without support. I lose much of our dear Jenna were incarcerated, and the ministers know it. That's where you came in. I understand. Well, I won't keep you any longer. Goodbye for now. Bam.
There you are, Countess. I trust I played my part in your charade this evening.
There, Blossom. You did very well as the sore green thumb at my affair. I'm sure everyone was far too intimidated by your glowering menace to notice it was an illusion standing beside you the whole time.
Yes, I thought you seemed rather vapid.
Alright, so that'll be it for this episode. If you liked it, definitely leave that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. We'll be continuing with the Guild Wars 2 Living Story Season 2 with Sif Larson on the next one, which looks to be recalibrating the waypoints. So I will definitely see you next time. Pinkies up, proper, out.